The new DUNE series of films has been a critical as well as box office success, and while there have been many instances in its newest iteration of the same woke shenanigans that have tanked many films over the past several years, I would suggest that what has been retained from the source material is in fact what has made it not only a timeless tale, but one that resonates far more than the film slop that has been put out over the past decade by Hollywood. While of course there has been the requisite gender swaps and the Hollywood fanaticism of removing gingers and redheads in favor of black actresses and actors, these new DUNE films are quite unique in our culturally oppressive times. Indeed, that which is being included in the new DUNE films, that I should say most have missed, and the themes presented very much go against every enforced current narrative on what is supposed to be right think, and it is astonishing. On women and female sexuality, the unborn, systems of government that human beings gravitate toward in their natural state, globalism versus nationalism, and that which makes men strong or weak, eugenics, AI, plus many others. The way the source material as well as the films, well, they examine these and other themes and are very much at odds with the current enforced cultural narratives on what right and wrong think are. And there is also the issues within the book that are totally discarded in order to make DUNE at least palatable to the professionally offended class in the Western world. And it is these discarded themes that will be examined in part 2 of this analysis, and the link to that is in the description below. And they include the roles of women in human society, pederasty and homosexuality, drugs that expand consciousness, and the double-edged sword of religion, among many others. So the question then remains, how could a film like DUNE, with source material that goes so much against that which is supposed to be what makes a person and society as a whole moral and just, be made in our fanatical first quarter of the 21st century? How could a film that spits on almost every sacrosanct tenet of our increasingly dystopian society be so widely acclaimed? Well, let's find out. Hi everyone, just to let you know, I have some old favorites as well as new t-shirt designs on sale right now. Link to find them is in the description, and would like to thank you in advance, as it really does help the channel, as for years now, content like this has been put into an algorithmic black hole, as well as being demonetized. So thanks again, as well as I'm pretty sure you'll find something you will like. This new iteration of DUNE does delve into the mechanics of an interplanetary universe that was created in the novels written by Frank Herbert, and those details within the storyline reinforce existing ideas that are now considered verboten in the West. You also have to consider that the books were written in the 1960s, long before our current social and cultural moral self-flagellation became in vogue, and in turn caused much of the social decay we are witnessing today on a daily level. Sometimes called witches due to their secretive nature, in the DUNE universe, they represent an organization of women that are not only manipulative, but also are only loyal to themselves and their collective goals. Also, these women are notable for their extensive skill in seduction, sex, and sexual imprinting to influence and take advantage of men that their sisterhood has targeted for various reasons. In a word, they are conniving, scheming, devious, and calculating, and view men only for the value they can be used for. In the movie, the unborn fetus of Alia Atreides is not only deemed to be a human being, but is in communication with her mother, Jessica, while in the womb. In the book, she is also born fully conscious as a result of the spice agony, indicating that life does, at least in the book, life does begin at conception and is not just a random smattering of cells, as is the cherished belief of so many, and especially to those that cling to the progressive dogma of our time, which goes against everything Hollywood and its cultural elite pontificate toward. The universe of Dune is set in the year 10191 AG, or after the Guild, meaning the time when interstellar transportation became safe and instantaneous, and that year corresponds to our calendar year of 23352 AD. However, human governments throughout the known galaxy are all based on a feudal interstellar society in which various noble houses control planetary fiefs and all answer to the emperor. Humans have evolved away from our sacred and sacrosanct so-called democracy, which in the current year is in truth government controlled by corporations and banks, to a system that humans have lived under for the vast majority of history. A system that understands hierarchy rather than supposed illusionary equality as we do in our own time. In the vast Imperium, planets are ruled over by great houses, and they engage in trade via the interstellar travel that is made possible by the Spacing Guild. In the book, as well as in the movie, this system is thoroughly corrupt and is overthrown by the Fremen, who are led by Paul Muad'Dib, and they are a tight group of human tribes that is highly xenophobic and shun off-worlders and the governing systems outside the planet of Arrakis in favor of their own in-group preference. In the books and movies, the Harkonnens of Giedi Prime are shown to be a twisted and sadistic race, but similar to that of ancient Rome. Despite their technologically advanced planet being ruled by a despot, their own lives being taken on a whim and living under the heel of absolute evil, they are still shown to be a mob that is placated by bread and circuses, much like our own societies in this first quarter of the 21st century. The tightly knit communities of the xenophobic Fremen of Arrakis are, however, on the other hand, the complete opposite. They are a people made hard by their environment and live completely secluded lives from all the other factions and races in the known universe. Their xenophobia and living off the grid, as it were, rather than a life of ease and comfort, is what makes them hard and the most formidable warriors in the galaxy. While the Dune movies do include the human computers called mentats, they don't explain why they are necessary and why there are no conventional computers within this universe. The reason for this is explored in the books in the backstory of the jihad against the thinking machines. Millennia prior to the events in the film, humanity has become enslaved by sentient machines, AI, or in the book called thinking machines. A pivotal moment in the Dune universe was the rebellion by humanity against the thinking machines, called the Butlerian Jihad, when humans destroyed all of the intelligent machines and established a new religious commandment: "Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of a human mind." But of course, computation and the need for computers was still needed within this universe, thus the creation of human computers, or mentats, rather than having AI. The use of eugenics to strengthen bloodlines and that of humanity as a whole is central to the Dune narrative, and it's not seen negatively at all. The opposite, in fact. Eugenics is the key to creating a better, stronger, faster, and more intelligent human. The ultimate goal of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood is the creation of a male superhuman they call the Kwisatz Haderach, via a massive human breeding program, which they have conducted for countless generations to collect key genes. And through their manipulations, they have intended to thrust upon the universe a messiah. However, the end result is a young white man, a shocking and distasteful and hateful idea in our times. And that young white man is Paul Atreides, whom they lose control over. Given the very, very, very short attention span of the average YouTube viewer, I've broken this analysis into two parts. And in the next part, I will review and address the ideas and concepts within DUNE that are just too malignant, noxious, and harmful to express, and that challenge the sacrosanct views of the current narratives that are pumped out by not only Hollywood, but also Western governments, the controlled media, academia, and the cultural war fanatics that deem any opposition to their cultural war as heresy, blasphemy, and an abomination. Link to part 2 of this analysis can be found below in the description of this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please check to see that you're still subscribed, as YouTube has unsubscribed tens of thousands of people from my channels without their knowledge or consent. If you'd like to help support this channel, it'd be very much appreciated. Ways of doing so are in the description below. And if you'd like to check out some of that merchandise shown at the beginning of this video, a link to that is in the description as well. So thank you again very much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.